The episode is just business. Just us doing business.
Welcome everyone to Making Waves, the business edition.
Yeah.
Tonight we have Chad
401ks.
401ks. Al McManus here, Justin Press, our typical host. And by no means do I mean he's typical. I mean, he's very atypical, but our host Justin is gallivanting across the country. I think with, who did he say? With the Prince review, or what was it? Michael Jackson tribute.
Yeah.
Shine Down. It's literally like, it's like Shine Down and like whoever, Def Leopards or somebody like that. Anyway, name drop for our pal.
Have an arm.
Yeah. Name drop for our pal Justin. And Chad Nicefield is here, the lovely and talented co-host. And we are on episode like 100 and something here. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, tonight with episode number 175,363. Something like that. It's well into the early 100s. I'll put it that way. Eva Under Fire. Yeah, BC. We have Eva. BC. We have Robert Lyberg, and we have Matt the drummer in the house tonight. Everyone.
The new drummer.
Sorry, Matt the new drummer.
I don't know how new you are, Matt. So I apologize if you're not that new.
Matt, Chad.
Yeah, Matt, Chad, Dave,
Paul,
whatever.
Dave.
What? Yeah. No, what is it for real? What did I say?
It's Dave.
That's what I said. Dave.
Oh, did you say Matt? Oh, okay.
No, you guys aren't listening very well. I clearly said Dave.
Oh,
I heard him say Matt.
We're around a lot of loud music a lot. So
I definitely said Dave. No, I definitely said Matt. I'm sorry about that, Matt. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are excited to chat with you for this the next hour or so about all things going on with Eva Under Fire. And with that, let's start with just kind of what's going on. Where are you all physically right now at this moment? You're in someone's lovely bedroom. There may be a makeup kit in the back. Maybe there's.
It's mine. It's
this is the same room we did last interview, and we're in good old Taylor, Michigan.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I was wondering, was it Southgate or Taylor? I remember. I mean, I know the Crackjaw days. Obviously, you guys are from down there. I just didn't know where you guys were located.
Oh yeah. We were based out of Southgate, but yeah, they're Taylor, and we're pretty much right next to each other. So
got it. Wyandotte? Sorry guys. These are some Michiganders. I just have to ask this question. Did you guys just play in Wyandotte at that? Is there a venue down there now?
Yes.
Yep.
How is it?
Our own downriver amazing venue now. It's so cool. It's District 142. And we did a hometown throwdown type deal. It was their first sold out show at that venue, which was awesome. Because we went way back with the promoter. So she now is part owner of this venue. So it was really cool to have like another full circle moment in downriver Detroit. So you're familiar with Crowfoot, yes?
Yeah. I was
a little bit, Chad.
15 years. Yeah.
So it's kind of like our own personal Crowfoot now, because it's got a really cool mezzanine thing up top.
Shit.
Seating, and then there's like what on the all general admission on the floor. So it's really awesome. It's beautiful, state of the art. Julie did an amazing job with like setting it up. The sound there is incredible. So we're really proud. So so that was really cool. And then we have more dates now with speaking of Michigan homies, we get to go out with Pop Evil for a few of their dates. We're going out with Taproot for a few of their dates. Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then we're coming to, jump on the boat.
Dude, what the fuck? That's so tight. You guys leave June, right? June through August is the Pop Evil dates?
Yeah, so there's a couple of them I think that starts in July. So we're doing Taylor Fest with Gin Blossoms actually. To kind of kick it off.
Fucking band, second favorite band. Are you serious?
Yeah, Gin Blossoms.
Where are they playing at? Sorry guys, I gotta go.
Chad's going. He's on his way. He's already gone.
Dude, we're doing Heritage Park. Come to the pavilion. Like we're hanging out.
There.
Let's do this.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Wait a second. The Gin Blossoms gig is where? Right down the street.
In Taylor, Tucky.
It's in
oh
Taylor.
my gosh!
It's like literally for the Taylor fireworks, and like there's.
Okay, gotcha. The hand, the fist, the fingers. I got it. I'm learning. I'm learning. So wait a second. Flashback, Chad. You probably didn't know this, but when I worked with Alan Koenig from Shiprocked, who the founder of Shiprocked, when Alan and I worked in management together, he was day-to-day manager for the Gin Blossoms for like 3 years.
Shut the fuck up.
Front door too. Yeah.
Right.
Every mind is getting blown tonight. I'm telling you.
Mostly just mine. I'm just like going to turn into an absolute friggin' shell of a man when I walk away.
Hanging out with a whole bunch of Michigan. Michigan's on the come up, guys. We're bringing back Detroit Rock City. We gave up on sports teams. We're just doing Detroit Rock City now.
Hey, sports teams are coming too, though. Don't worry. The Lions are good. The Lions are, there's some hope.
Hurry
There's some
up.
hope with the Lions. It's going to be okay. Nick,
Yeah.
come on. Well, Chad's really excited. Chad's very sporty. He loves sports.
This is why I was late. I was like, I gotta get 10 more pigskin tosses in before I
Yeah.
get on this podcast. So you guys, after the tour with Pop Evil, is Taproot in the fall then?
I think so.
So,
Those
yeah.
are fall dates because
Yeah.
they're on our way to and from like other, like we're doing, we have a ton of festivals we get to do this year. So like in between what?
So there's a couple
Rock
of different
Fest,
groupings.
Upheaval.
We play like 6 shows all together with Taproot, and they take place in like October and November.
Okay, so like Aftershock and stuff. I know that those festivals.
No, we're not out. We did Aftershock last year.
We did.
We're doing Incarceration.
Blue
Yeah.
Ridge.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, Upheaval here in Michigan, and Rockfest, and also
Rock.
Blue Ridge, and of course next year we absolutely can't wait to be back out on the boat with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are
That's
like
a hell of a
camping
fucking
festivals
2023,
in the US.
guys. Like even and Skillet over in Europe before this, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They
We
literally
just like
got off of
fresh
it?
off the plane. We got back like
Wow.
this. I don't know, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Sick.
I
How'd it
just-
go?
I had a good conversation with Haley Kramer today. Chad, you probably remember that from Pop Evil.
Yes.
About some fun things we might do. So that's all. And then I got refreshed on what y'all were up to. I was like, oh my gosh, small world. Everybody's talking to everybody.
Dude, totally.
Yeah, she seems super cool. I don't know if you guys have hung out with them yet, but certainly you will. Obviously now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all very nice.
I have been told that I need to hang out with Haley because so a buddy of ours used to do merchandise for them, who we met on the Atreyu Nothing More tour. And so when he was out with Pop Evil, we kind of went, like they were in town, and I just went to like help him sling Pop Evil t-shirts. And then like we ended up on the bus and like hanging out. And so I've said hi to Haley and met her. But we just haven't had the fortune of hanging out just yet. But I hear they're wonderful people. I mean, from what I know of them, they're super nice. So we're excited.
Yeah, super nice people.
Yay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we just got back. How was
Yeah.
playing abroad?
Cool.
Have you all been? Have you done it and been there? And was that first time
haven't.
overseas?
No, this is our first time.
We
What's the
took
first
him
time?
as a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was previously there with other acts in the past, but then but this was much bigger and badder for sure all the way around. It was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
The theater shows over there, it was like a heck of a tour to like do the first run with, right? Like for Eva Under Fire, first time in Europe, playing theaters that were like 2,000 cap type rooms was pretty crazy. I mean, them European fans go hard for rock music.
Yeah,
they do.
yeah,
Like,
they do. Yeah.
and it didn't matter necessarily that we were new to them. I feel like other markets, sometimes you find people who are hesitant for like new music if they don't know you already or whatever. But we were awesome. We're friends with Skillet. They did an awesome thing by putting us on the ad mat. And so of course, what do rock fans do? They go, oh, I've not heard of them. Let me check this out, right? Because
Mhm.
they are always going to do the deep dive on all of your freaking songs. And that really, it helped immensely. Plus, we had a single that we were releasing over there. We did Unstoppable, was kind of going through European radio as we were over there.
Nice.
So I got to do all the cool things, visit all the FM stations, and like do some interviews and cool podcast stuff. So it was a really awesome time. So fun.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, where it's like, if you go to Europe early, at least in my experience, it was in management and in a lot of it in country music. There was a lot of the conversations where, hey, you know what, you got to go to Europe early in your career. I mean, I'm not suggesting you're that early in your career, right? Because you guys have been around for a bit, but going over there early and connecting early and staying connected and repeating it, you start, for some reason, like the following's just, it's like, I don't know what it is. Like you said, so the vibe and the energy is just, it's not necessarily better or worse. Because if you can play at a club or a show here in the States and there's a great vibe and it's just music fans, right? They're everywhere. But there's a certain thing about the loyalty and the fanaticism of the European fans. It's just different. So, the idea of going back and keeping those ties there and knowing they can look for you the next time is super important. So I'm glad you guys are doing that. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, and you say You said the right thing, because we were kind of worried that it was too early, because we know how expensive it is also to go over there, right? So like
Mhm.
we needed it to be the right look, the right time. Everything did line up, but it was, we were unfamiliar to them, so we were kind of nervous, because it's
Mhm.
not like we've been in that market, circulated on any other FM stations before going over there just now. It was kind of like the opportunity came up, we hurried up, put out a song, and just kind of like got on a plane, hope for the best.
Yeah.
It's a big look, it's a big tour, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to translate into the fans liking and responding to our music. But it absolutely did. And so I don't know if it was just like all of the right things happened at the same time, or what, but and you guys are helping us get a real big look, because the next thing I want to swindle our way onto is their festivals over there, because they are massive festivals. And
Yeah, they are.
we're
One of the
hoping
biggest things. Oh, sorry, keep going.
I was going to say that we're hoping that's the next time over there is
Mhm.
like festival season.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, it's certainly so to keep pushing the needle on the European vibe. I'm sure you can attest to it. It's been a few years since I've been over there, but for instance, the way that they treat the bands as far as their hospitalities backstage, the food, the where you're parking, all of those things are, there's sort of in some of those countries and cities, they are set up with government funds to create areas for parking and egress and ingress for the bands in and out of the space, for the artists to actually like be on site and get home cooked meals from like a real kitchen that's there. Just the theater vibe that I had over there was leaps and bounds different from when you go play like a 2000 cap club in the States and you're first of three, and they're like, yeah, just get your shit off on the stage and then get your shit off the stage, and you don't have anywhere to put your bags except for your van, right?
Mhm.
And over there, they're like, you have a whole space, a whole room, all of these things. The parking in general is insane. And on top of that, they keep those venues updated with the newest sound, the newest production, the newest tricks and bells and whistles, because they do have actual like grants and funds that those cities and venues are getting. It's way different. I wish we
Yeah,
had something
the one thing I did notice was the catering was pretty, like you said, on it. Like and it was different food. So I don't know if my dumb American brain was like, I'm just not prepared
Well,
for
they
this, because
don't-
it wasn't amazing.
They don't
but
use
like
as much butter and as much grease
bad things as
and,
we do.
the
What?
horrible things that we enjoy over here. They don't
Right.
they don't use as much of that.
Fans were amazing. Food was not American.
We'll say different.
Different.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what,
It
like
didn't suck though.
like Chad was saying, no, it definitely didn't. It felt cleaner, felt like I wasn't weighed down after I ate, and I
Mhm.
had like a full meal, but it's not like I just needed a nap afterwards.
Right.
Right. And also like they were on site. Shh, we are busy. He's my cat's
Oh yeah,
very
she's
busy.
so
No one-
mad.
He's
So
so mad. There's 3 people in this room and no one is petting him.
Yeah.
I've been trying
Anyway,
secretly.
Can we let's have a look at him. What's his name?
come on, Murph. Murph.
What's
Let's
his
take a
name?
look at 'em.
Oh,
Merf,
we'll have to get it checked out
Merf.
before
Murph. Okay,
Yeah.
Murph, now's your time.
Yeah.
Say
He's
what you
go
wanna
ahead.
say.
Now's your
Hit-
chance, Murph. You speak now or forever hold your kibbles.
Oh,
Yeah, hit the high note. Go ahead.
we got
Next
gunshot.
time they're gonna bring me.
Right. You can't come on the ship, buddy. Sorry.
No, no, you could be
but-
the you could we've had instances of emotional support animals, so
Really?
please don't.
No, but
Right,
I mean, I'm emotionally fine. He's the animal. that
right,
needs
right.
emotional support.
That's
He's a
classic.
very needy creature.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when we leave him here, he's left here with our wonderful roommate who makes sure that he has a treat schedule.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
That's
he's
amazing.
gonna be fine.
Yep.
But yeah, the catering over there, sidebar Merf, the catering over there was pretty awesome, because they had on site like chefs and catering services that were like serving the food, and they were there in person, and it was like a restaurant that they
Yeah.
turned these venues into.
But yeah, to
It's
your
crazy.
point, Chad, just like you said, I was warning them before we go over. They just seems like they have like a better culture and like more pride and respect for the arts in general. Even
Yep.
with museums and stuff, everything is tip top. And it's definitely, you can get spoiled by touring over there, and you come back over here, and it's a wake up call for sure.
Yeah, they each have their pluses and minuses. I mean, like the idea of what's cool about the culture in general is there's still like this air of total respect for the journalists, the radio folks. It doesn't feel like it's convoluted by like, advertising dollars when they're playing something. People truly hear that come out of somebody that's a respected, jock at the BBC or at Metal Hammer Mag or whatever, and they listen, like those words mean something. And over here we have the same version of it. It exists in a different platform with word of mouth. Either there's I guess I could talk about it all the time. I don't want to waste our moments.
No, you're totally
just
right though.
this, but
That was our first impression as well. We were told all kinds of things, right? But when you experience it, it is different. And I think that we got spoiled because we come over there as musicians. And I think everyone in Europe must know how expensive it is to get over there, because whether or not they liked Americans, we were invited for drinks after the show, and like people wanted to come meet us, and like we were treated, I was like, these people love us.
Yeah, they're like, you're an American musician, you must be completely poor. Let me buy you some booze.
How many beers do we need? Welcome to our country. Also, please come back. So it was really, but Germany, oh, Germany with their rock fans. And we were told Germany, we went over there knowing Germany was like our number 2 market. And
sweet.
There was one show at the Palladium, and it was, I believe, Cologne, Germany. And this was, man, what a moment. The whole mezzanine was closed off for green rooms and for catering. And I'm always like, Al, you see me probably running around on the boat and stuff. I have to be at the show. I love the rock show. I love playing the rock show. I love being there as a fan. Like, I will be, anybody we open for has like a chair for me side stage, because they know that I'm going to be watching the whole performance and losing my mind. So I'm out there, I'm losing my mind, I'm rocking out for Skillet, and they do a wonderful job of shouting out their support bands. And so they, say, make some noise for Eva Under Fire. But this particular night, I was the only one up on the balcony. And so I was very clearly seen from the stage. No one else kind of knew I was up there. Obviously, they're watching the show. But John pointed to where I was standing, said, make some noise for Eva Under Fire. And 2,800 people turned to me as though I was rock royalty. Let out this deafening like cheer, crazy. I've never heard anything like that in my life. I was in tears. I was so emotional about like how, and they just stood applauding us from the stage, and everybody, it was also that night where I saw my first rowing pit, where everybody sits down and they do the row thing. I had no idea, like, it's just, I've seen it on Instagram and on TikTok, but I've never seen it in person. Like it was such a special vibe anyway that night, but that was my nightcap. And I was like, this place is amazing. Just an incredible moment.
Well, the cool thing about that is like, they wouldn't have done that if you sucked. I don't care where you are.
True.
Very
So,
true.
so you deserved it. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's a good thing she was up there, because if it was me, they would have been like,
they'd have been like,
Dude,
who's it?
the
Oh
loudest
yeah,
roaring fart I've ever heard in my life. 2,800 people just like.
And he would have just done the
Yeah, Rob's up there. Yeah, just supremely taking his applause. I'm on the floor crying.
I'm sorry. How did the rope hit? I have to know, like, did you see the start of it? When you see like a wave, right? I did. I thought someone fell, like in the pit. I thought somebody like fell at first. And then I started to see that there was more people like I was like, oh, they're picking them up. What a nice German crowd. They're picking them up, No. Everyone else was just like, then it was like a domino. And I saw like 150 of them all like sequentially sit down and start this row thing. And everybody's just dying laughing, like having a good time. Like it's gotta be some sort of personal joke. I don't even know why this happens, but like, I think that people know this is just a European thing that they do at these giant shows. So, and then what I really was fascinated by was like, after that point in the song, it was like after the breakdown, after the chorus or something like that, people started to stand back up. And I thought for sure somebody was going to get trampled, like stampede, right? Because this was in the pit. People were bouncing around and whatever, just, it was a fun pit, but it was definitely like
where the mosh pit was happening. So I'm watching for somebody to just get trampled. I'm like almost at my phone, like, who do I call if I see somebody get hurt? No one started the moshing again until every single person had stood up from those people that were on the floor. And then all of a sudden it was like they planned this. Everyone stood up, everybody was like, yeah, cheering. And then they all started bouncing around again. Like then the pit resumed. I was like, this is crazy. But like also what a cool thing. Cause it was, you could just tell that it was just for fun, you know?
You rockers and your manners.
It's like everyone went to OSHA training for mosh.
This is business 101, right? This is
that's right. Yes, the OSHA training. Right. God, listen, had you asked me before we started here if the term OSHA was going to come up, I'd have bet good American money. I'd have bet some German Deutschmarks that no, we're not going to say OSHA on this episode, but there it is.
OSHA.
OSHA. Yeah. We'll get it. Well, by the end of the episode, we'll have it figured out. Dave will have figured it out for us. He's just going to sit back there in the tall grass. He's going to lurk and he's going to spring it on us at the end. Yeah. He's gonna,
technically.
Listen, you guys, this is but like being in a band, right? This is the side of it people don't realize. There's like so much that goes into just getting there, right? Like what Jim's saying about like you get there, you play, you get your stage stuff on, you figure out what, dial everything in. So when we come party with you guys, it's a vacation.
Yeah,
right.
Like it's fun and also get your stuff on and off the stage, but fun.
Well, you don't have far to go to fall down.
Right.
Or to find some beer or whatever, or find some food, and you never have to really worry about what the catering is going to be. It's like, oh, you have your choice, right? And then the other great thing about Shiprocks is not to break the seal on Shiprock too soon, is that the fans are all, for the most 99% of the time, are super respectful and like, they're people that really and especially the return guests that we have, they know how to respectfully stalk an artist if they're looking to get an autograph or those things, right? They've been trained a little bit, and a lot of them don't care about that, right? And they also know they're going to get a meet and greet and get a photo, and chances are they're probably going to run into you somewhere around the ship. Somewhere, or they're down the hall from you and they're going to say hey in the hallway and you're going to snap a quick photo. So it's like all those things, and that's why, and we emphasize that as far as trying to make it a vacation for the artists as much as the guests, with the accommodations and just making sure you get through security and make sure everything is smooth and your shows are good and production set up so that you can enjoy yourselves. Because if you're having a good time, everybody else is going to have a good time too, so.
Absolutely. You guys do a wonderful job with it. And people that we've talked to, like Skillet has been on, and
they were great.
Storm has been on, and everybody's like, it's just incredible. So even all the way up, you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah. Thank you. I'd love to, I see Lizzie and Joe around town a little bit here and there, 3 or 4, probably more than that, 4 or 5 times a year. And I'm always trying to get them on, and we just got to figure out a way. So they'll be back. They'll be back in my loving arms.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
Can I ask a little history questions? I mean, there's a lot that I know personally, being here in Michigan in general, and I'm sure that the boat, right? The listeners that have been on the boat have done their due diligence because they are the greatest fans in the world. But with your record coming out in 2015, the first record, right? Anchors. Was there a band that existed long before that debut, or did you guys kind of start soon there before?
So my high school band was Fall Prey, and and there was a bunch of other local stuff that like Dave was saying Crackjaw, and so Rob was in a couple of iterations of the Fall Prey era, and so we all met as friends playing in the same local scene, and then like it just sort of happened where not too many people were doing stuff anymore. We really missed writing. So we were like, hey, we should jam together. And then we just immediately fell back in love.
Dude, we all live, like most bands like are located all around like the US, in some cases the world. And they just like meet together like to rehearse like right before a tour or something. Like we are in like 20 minutes proximity to each other. We still have band practice.
Yeah.
Like
I hope so.
In my garage.
Garage band.
In the garage?
In my garage. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, dude, that's so fucking tight.
We're still a garage band.
Yeah. Look,
Man, we had a practice space. That's really for, like when you had the space with the, here in Warren, I think it was Hoover's. I forget what the room is called, but there's like a community of people that a few of them, you see them here and there, but like large and in part.
Redford, right? Like
Oh,
that's the loft in Redford on Grand River.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, yeah. But like it's like honestly, it didn't until you said that right now, it hasn't really occurred to me just how hard it is nowadays to start a localized group of like-minded musicians, and then B, find the space to do what I used to do in my garage in my parents' house with my neighborhood friends. One or two of us would come out of that space and go make another band. It's kind of like you just graduate to a spot where like, how much shit can you eat? And then finally when you said, I'll have another, then you find the people that are, from all these other steps of the walks of life in different places, and then you do it remotely the way that you can nowadays.
yeah.
Back then when we started, when you guys started as well, playing music, it wasn't that would be unquestionable to think about having another member in another state, for instance.
Oh yeah.
But now you don't see anybody doing what you guys are doing, and I find that to be so fascinating. So you guys live and breathe the music inside of a space together. You leave there hashing out, you come there to hash out ideas, and you leave there with new ones. And then you talk about your business, what you got going on. That's so awesome. Can you then, so you put this record out 2015, and then it was a few years, the last LP was last year, 2022?
Yeah, yes, correct.
Love, Drugs, and Misery. So in between then, this is where the fun stuff I think probably happens, right? In those 7 years, can you give us like an overview of how we came to be talking right now?
Yeah, so the quick version is this. You know how you said how hard it was to find like-minded individuals, let alone in the same space, right? That took us 7 years to get to this lineup, and like no kids, no drug problems, right? So also we can all do this, still have a passion for it, still be here localized in the same kind of community. Like I feel like we do have a pretty old school story. Like we still get together and like we're talking about, oh, okay, well, what do you guys want to write? You guys want demos like for the right? This is kind of like they've pushed this record, right? Love, Drugs, and Misery. Well, now what? Well, we got a bunch of ideas. Well, how did you guys do that? You haven't gone and written with anyone. No, I got them on my phone from when we jam. I live with this guy. We hash out ideas all the time in my living room. So it's very convenient to have friends locally that just want to like jam out on stuff. I was talking to Dave, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, where we were like, oh yeah, that one idea that you had vocally, you were like, yeah. What if I did like a drum pattern like this, right? And we just talking about stuff, we haven't gotten to writing it yet. Like it's possible for us because we're all in this same space, and it is convenient.
And we're always thinking of like what it's going to be when it comes time to get to that point we're writing. Well, so you're already locked and loaded with a bunch of ideas, like things you can add or throw away real quick.
Well, and look, the reality is there's very few Freddie Mercurys, the one-stop shop, the one guy that can do it all, right? And so the collaborative and the energy of 4 or 5 it can be a great impetus on forward movement, right? Because it's like you guys, we're talking about those bands that have the guitar player in Maryland and the other guys in Baltimore. It's like, yeah, it's kind of close, but it's 2 hours away. Or there's a guy in South Carolina and a guy in Wyoming, whatever example, whatever. That means that one person or two people are getting together, writing the music, and then they're sending it to this other person saying, hey, play on this, which is fine. They are included in that, in the creative process to a certain extent, but the magic, the real stuff, whether it be honing in on a proper lyric or a hook or a melody, that's happening with the two people that are pushing the two people, really working on it, and the drummers, in the room. Thank you. That's the better summary. And it's in the room together. And I think, here's the thing. I think there's a lot of bands that I've listened to over the years. And I put my manager hat on and I go, you know what? Stay in the garage. Like forever stay in the garage. And if you're not physically in the garage, stay in the garage headspace. Remember that you're from the garage. And if you always remember you're from the garage, your Versace pants do Versace make pants? Is that a thing? I don't even know. But
Yeah.
whatever, pick your idiom, whatever thing you're going to get into is always secondary to whatever happens in the garage. You know, it's like, do we need to go spend the money on a proper studio to rehearse these things? No, we need a drum set with some pillows on it, a good guitar amp, a good bass amp, and a speaker for the vocals. Like, I don't know why you ever I don't know you, but I don't know why people get out of that headspace. It's like, well, we can't give the magic, and it's like, no, the magic's in the people and being
Yeah.
together. The together, and like I said, unless you're Freddie Mercury and you can just sit at the piano and come up with this brilliant shit by yourselves, everybody needs some kind of external energy to push something forward. So don't
Well,
leave
how
the
many times-
garage because it's going
Thank-
well. It's going great. Don't leave the damn
Thank
garage.
you. Thank you for that. Don't leave the garage. I love that. Also, I just want you to understand the severity of the issue when you ask a bunch of downriver kids whether or not Versace makes pants, because we don't know that.
Yeah, what's
And-
that?
Yeah. Hey, look, yeah. What does that mean? I just want to stand around a fire and drink some beer.
Do they have those at Walmart? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Droid it way in the back. I think you got to ask for
Yeah.
help. And they're
And
like, oh,
I
those
don't even
things?
need pillows on the drum set because the neighbors are like way over there, right? I have a
Hey.
whole acre,
Yeah,
right?
Perfect.
Oh, shit.
Well, I'm just talking about for your ears standing next to the drummer.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Sorry, Dave. You just stop playing so damn hard. Just stop it.
All the time.
The only time that Dave runs into like problems, right, is because unfortunately he's on a drum riser and I am so short. Like my microphone is right next to the cymbal. And so I really just want to get like, can somebody please make us famous already so that way I can stand further away from his kid?
Yeah.
Because
Or
when you're the first
so
one
that
up. You get it.
a drum shield. I just want this guy behind a drum shield.
Yeah, you're the opening band. There's 100 drum sets.
Oh,
on
yeah.
You got 15,
Yeah.
15 inches to move.
Yeah.
That's
like,
an
I
interesting
can't go
conversation. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm like, I can't go anywhere else, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you on ears too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So it took us forever took me forever to convince those guys, like, listen, we need to go on ears for everybody's sake, but more or less for your voice. After all those days touring, and you're just like left at the end, day 14 in a row, and you're like, I can't do it, brother.
Yeah.
Trying to fight to hear myself over those fucking cymbals or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This would be a good time to bring up this specific thing, because I don't think a lot of people, even when they're looking at you on stage and you're like, oh, you all of us on this call can understand like what the vibe might be just by honing in the drummer and the vocalist specifically, and that straight line. But for instance, we did a Guar tour. 30 days in a row, 30 shows in a row, every single one of them. We're just following, they're chasing the money, right? The tour was routed to where the avails are and where the monies are. So like they're on buses and we're on a van and trailer, and it's sometimes 12 to 15 hours drives in between shows. So load out to load in. When we get there, just throw our shit on, try to get a sound check, right? Before doors are, in the next hour. And when you get to that space and you see that there's literally just enough space behind Guar's drum set and the front of the stage, and you're a 5-piece band with a bunch of fucking cabinets, because of course, that's a good thing to have to hug these massive emperor cabinets at the time that we had on stage. But then you're just like, where do you go, right? How do you provide a show? How do you make the best of this moment? You're out here making very limited amount of money and driving so hard, you need to sell some merch. Can you tell us about any of those like a situation like that? It's all for the best. Like that tour was the best thing that happened for our band. Reality came around real quick and real early. So I don't know if you got a story like that.
So we did buy guitar volts that we needed to sell real quick.
Oh, dude, we
tried to look big and it wasn't.
We fucked up so bad. So when we started doing like the touring stuff on this level, we're like, okay, we got to look legit, right? So we got these big giant road cases that fit like a cabinet. They fit like all these things without thinking about who's helping us move this stuff on like stages that don't have ramps. So like it's
the hands have gone, they're gone.
They don't care. Yeah.
And it's like, so
like, who are you?
It took like one like short tour with Buck Cherry trying to navigate that on a small stage. We're like, yeah, screw this, man. Like it's impossible to sell those things because we had them. You get them custom built, so they live in our garages now. But yeah, this is like therapy for me a little bit, because you understanding what the long drives and sleeping in the vans and the Walmart parking lots, trying to get a couple hours of sleep, dude. I feel that, and thank you for
Oh, my body says you're welcome. We, like, I don't know if you guys figured out the,
10 years ago, everyone wanted to, everyone was trying to put that best foot forward, like do the Dimebag Daryl, where it's like have 4 fucking, full stacks, and it looks big, it sounds big, and then now all the equipment comes in a box this big, and now bands are like, well, why are we going to kill ourselves just to have this aesthetic? It's like going to sound the same in the end. So, I still miss the big cabs and all that, but when it comes to the workload, it's a no-brainer.
yeah, I mean, I'd assume you're in the position that we found ourselves in at that point. We were like, the Stitchies cabs, go into Kempers, go to Ears, carry our own sound equipment with the money we're saving, and not having to, carry that shit. And then we have more room in the trailer for bells and whistles. They make cool gadgets that you can essentially do on your own with just like some MIDI or a button on the ground. And that can go, I think it's just as far, if not further, for the crowd than, dummy cabs and the whole nine that some bands will, used to specifically, 10, 12 years ago would be carrying.
It's a cool idea, right? And we'd love to be able to do that when the time is right and when the money is right and when we're well into our career and we can do these things. And we would prefer to not use my harmonied vocals on a track, but have a keyboardist who can also harmonize with me on the right. But until we're Foo Fighters, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So so there's a lot of things to consider. We are making it work on a really like small scale right now, but you know what? The energy is still there. It's a show. It doesn't change. People know that I'm singing. People know that we're playing. People know that when he's hitting these crazy fills, like there's stuff that's added to the live show. And I think people have really gravitated to that. And it's so fun for me to know that as a musician, that even though there's stuff that we're using to make our lives easier, like people don't come to our show and be like, they're selling out, this and that, right? Like I still have people. It's funny you mentioned the merchandise. So when we count in merch, it's me, right?
Yeah.
When we do our merch setups and whatever else like that, it's me. I was slinging merch for a minute for us to just say, hey, we're not big enough to do VIPs yet. How can we make a big splash on Instagram? Well, come buy a t-shirt from the singer and I'll take a picture with you, right? So we invite all of the people from the stage, come check out the merch, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, we thought we should do that on Shiprocked and got the nickname Tchotchke. I will not bring that much swag.
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that at all. I don't remember that.
like stuffing things, Tchotchkes.
We brought pins, we brought stickers, we brought all kinds of things. And
but you did well though, right?
We did.
Yeah.
That's why
it went great. Yeah. Well, I don't have any problem. I don't remember that. I just remember now thinking about it. I hadn't thought about it since I looked at the settlement once a couple of years ago. And I remember going, oh, wow, they did really well on that. So it worked.
We got Satchel in pajamas in an evil onesie. We got and talk about feeling intimidated when we were last on the ship. Like he was like watching our set, and I'm like, God, this guy's gonna know every damn note that I miss, and that sucks, but it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, like don't mess this up.
Yeah.
But it was really cool for us to start recognizing even in different markets, not even just Michigan hometown shows. Like when what's happening?
I'm bleeding.
Mystery goo
bleeding randomly.
Mystery goo, Chad. Bam, we got it.
God.
We got it.
Sound.
Chad and I, when we do these together, we can't wait for the mystery goo. It's the best part of the episode.
What if confetti just started
Good for you guys. I think it came early.
Yeah. Oh, weird.
Oh.
Premature goo. Oh no.
Sorry.
No.
Hey, that's an awkward transition. But here, I want to go back to something because this is something I think about a bit.
Okay.
What percentage of I so want to say goo? I'm not going to.
Okay.
What percentage of live music needs to be live before it crosses the threshold of 90%. Your regular everyday fan going,
90%.
90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90%. 90
Yeah, it's got to be high. It's got to be 85, 90, like she said. Like,
because here's the thing. You talk about, you're like, okay, I want to have, and I'm not suggesting you're wrong. I want you to think about this, something to think about. You say, I want to have a keyboard player out here kicking ass with me, right? And but at the same time, it's like, okay, that I believe that that's what you want. I think that's the logical conclusion or the logical solution. But then you see these bands with budgets, and it's 50% tracks. And I'm not opposed to tracks. Everybody runs tracks. I think there's definite benefit to it. Sonically, it's better for everybody. You work so hard in the studio to make these records. You want to bring that on a budget to the people. I totally get it. My stupid ass cover band uses tracks. Granted, it's for What a Man by Salt and Pepper, so we can rap. That's a whole other weird thing.
Hold on. You got to do that karaoke on the ship.
You just
gonna
wait,
say, you gotta do
Robert.
that
You
rap
wait.
right
You
now.
wait, Robert Liberg.
already.
You
I love
wait.
it when you call
I
me
want
big.
to. I want to take a minute or two and give much respect due to a man that's made a difference in my world. Yeah, there was a little. There's a little.
That's
So
the mystery goo.
right.
Don't do it again.
That's
Don't do it
the
again.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. He says. Here it comes.
Like the way.
But it's but it's like oh God, am I going to be able to write my own ship right now? I don't even think I can. There's another nautical pun. But it's like you see a lot of bands with budgets doing it, and and the other weird thing is a whole other conversation about amps on stage, right? And the loss of that energy that you get from a man or a girl or a guy, whoever, physically hitting the instrument and it physically creating a moving air from the people that are right in front of those amps. And that's a whole other thing. But it's like you can get to the point with tracks where it's too much. But that's my question. Maybe it's not a question, it's just open it up for discussion. These bands with all this money and all these funds have the money to put people on these big stages, but they still go with tracks. And that's the part to me that's kind of sad. It's like, man, like you could have a kick-ass keyboard player, but you don't, and you're running tracks instead. Like, and I get it, the economics of it, I get it. But then there's somewhere it's like, man, you guys got the budget. Why are you running tracks?
So it's we could talk about this for hours. This is what kind of stuff I like to talk about. But I think that ever since phones became as high powered as they've become, it kind of holds people to a certain standard nowadays that was never there, like back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like there was bands would basically get away with not performing well, and you would never see it on the internet forever.
Skinner.
So you think it's the perfection of the recordings that's creating the need to make it perfect live?
Yeah, I think that
definitely adds.
Yeah, it's just like because the internet is what it is now.
Like technology creates the expectation.
Yeah, and then like once a couple of like the bigger bands start doing it, and then it's like, okay, well now that's the new expectation. Now like everybody else, like this is what it is. This is what active rock is now. This is this is what the hybrid, like this is what like metalcore infused with like pop hooks is now.
Yep.
And that just becomes a thing. Now, me personally, the goal is always at one point someday to get it to 100% live. I think that's totally awesome. There's tons of big arena bands that still do that. But if you can't possibly, like, I understand the budget thing 100%. If you're cutting corners that you don't necessarily have to cut, that's where I think it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're willing to sacrifice their art and completion to like cheap shot. Hey, we'll just put the track in instead of getting that keyboard player. I think some bands do it right, some bands do it wrong. If you're using full instrumentation and full parts and and it's just stacked so heavily, I think that's where the bands can get lost. If you're using percussion and keeping it in a metronome so it's nice and even and really small enhancements that and still the real music overshadowing all that. I think that's the fine line, with 2023, you got to do it because you get left in the dust. But yeah, I think there's a way to really abuse it, and convenience definitely aids to that for sure,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think abusing it is a good term for, like, are you just mailing this in, right? But then I would like to also submit that, what the 90% that I was saying was basically for our band, like what our standard is and how we write and what we perform and when we write, what we'll keep in mind, right? But like other performers, maybe that's where their focus is, their performance, right? Like how many tracks does Pink run? Well, she's also got an acrobatic act that's just that she's doing when she's now she's not known to be a rock artist, but like many times once you start getting into like the echelon of people who are icons, people who are music influencers that you see all over the place, right? I feel like some big bands, they are a rock band and they are going up there with like a 5-piece that plays their instruments and they sing and they write. That is it. That is their ethos, right? And that's cool. But like other bands that are now using more technology, more production, like Bring Me the Horizon in their music, it's intentional. And so all of those, like, and Muse too, right? Muse plays their stuff, but they have so much electronic that happens in their music. And that's all part of the show, all the giant screens and like massive. So I guess it just depends on what you're going for, but definitely for what we do, it's a high energy rock show with people that are really up there playing and singing.
I think Chad would have something to say about High Energy because they were one of the most high energy bands out there for a live show.
I can barely feel my lower back, so that's what I have to say for that. Ouch! After all those years, but that was the ethos from the very beginning. It was necessity, right? Because like I don't know how to really do what I'm doing, so I'll just flop around on stage like a crazy person. And somebody will hopefully be like, "That was wild," and then you go and you learn it. You learn what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. But I think you said something really important. Is you're part of a business 101. You're part of a market share when it comes to the entertainment dollar.
Sure.
And when somebody's spending that dollar, right, at a show inside of a space that's large, and they're seeing these bands that are sound exactly like the record or as close to it with all these bells and whistles, and their sonic assault has left them saying that was worth my $35, right? I'm just using like a club price as an example. Then you come back to that same place and you see a 5-piece that doesn't have any of that other stuff, right? All those aren't running tracks. And some of those fans in 2023 specifically, it'd be different back in the day, they might leave and be like, it didn't sound as great as the record, right? So then their expectations of that band aren't as high as they should be for a return play on ticket sales. This is just bullshit. But I think that when you're dissecting the pie and you're looking at what it is, like bands that are going out there and Hailstorm, we mentioned them as a great example of like a true blue fucking 4-piece rock show, and they can take their songs and reimagine them in that space as a 4-piece, and it sounds and feels just as great, and if not sometimes even fucking better than the record because of that energy, because of the emotion. And then to go back what you said, if it's your intention to do so, then so be it. The tools are there. I don't think we should shit on anybody for using what's available and doing a great job with it. But I do think there's something to be said about when you go up there and rely on your crutch and leave that room feeling like you lied. Well, feeling you lied to them. You didn't do anything. You didn't do the part that you're supposed to do, which is sweat, motherfucker. And that's where I
goes out mid-show, but the answer's still on. At that point, you have no choice but to finish it out, right? And that's when it's time to be revealed, So
that's when the milli becomes the vanilli. Hopefully not.
Exactly.
It's one thing Lido Deck has in common with Europe is that there's no air anywhere. Like there's no air conditioning. They don't believe in it. Like, so you're playing under the 90-degree sun on the next stage.
No ice.
You're playing like, Germany, still no air.
Well, listen, Eva Under Fire gets to be, when you guys are a stadium act, we'll come in, we'll have on Shiprocked, and then we'll just cover it.
Yay! Okay. I love this.
Let's cover it.
I love this.
We'll have all of the shiprockers just blowing mini.
Blowing mini.
Right.
Why would they have pinwheels?
I don't know, because that's what I meant.
They're blowing mini fans. Why would they have just use batteries?
Pinwheel, you got it exactly right.
That's what your vision was, the pinwheel.
Inertia of
The pinwheel inertia, everyone.
This is
If there's
great.
a
If
5,000.
if we end up on Lido Deck, we should definitely tell them that, like, hey, everybody, bring fans.
Bring fans.
Let's
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
audience that they have to fan us.
Hold on. I think on Shiprock that whole like rowing mosh pit needs to be a thing.
I do too. I totally agree. I
Please
was
do
thinking
that.
the same thing because
You
you know,
gotta do
because moshing it's not really a good idea. We
Right,
don't
right.
frown upon it, but we frown upon it. So I think this is a wonderful alternative.
Yeah.
Now,
Brilliant.
the other
Better, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
not a too, so we're keeping it clean.
yeah, Dave, the other thing I think you need to do, you know, I'm not here to give you career advice, okay?
Yeah.
I think you should during the set on the Lido Deck, you come off the drums. Just follow me here, right? You come off the drums. You come down stage center, right?
All right.
Shirt off,
All right.
Oh.
obviously.
Now we're talking.
And you
Now
got
we're
and you got a wireless headset mic, and you come out there and you say, "Shiprocked, blow me." And then at that moment, everybody pinwheels.
Oh, all right. Okay.
What do you think? What did you think? What did you think I meant?
Yeah, what do you think this is? This is we're not
It's a
talking.
it's a family show, people.
Yeah. I'm down, man.
Yeah,
Do I have
okay.
The Borat song too.
Okay, so let's go over this one more time. I just want to make sure we get. I just want to make sure.
Did you lick your pen?
Make
by
sure
the
we get
way?
this. Make sure we get this right. Dave,
Taking notes.
got
downstage.
He's
Okay,
got
yeah.
some pretty fancy Spanx he wore and
Spanx.
Yeah.
Okay, we got
Oh, yeah.
Spanx. Gotcha. Okay, I think I got it.
You guys could trade beanies and you could start growing your hair out right now, Dave. So
Yes.
that way when you said Shiprock, blow me, and you have like wavy
Yeah.
long hair, then you could see the pinwheels actually work, which is
Yeah.
great for the pinwheels, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll do a giveaway. We'll get them sponsored. We'll get to spinwheel.com to sponsor it.
right now.
Don't check it. You know it's something horrible.
Don't look.
Don't go to spinwheel.com. We are
I'm doing
Listen, so this is on a way
Screen share,
bigger
screen share.
scale, but I already have a helper on Shiprocked who will be there again because your Shiprockers are dedicated. Okay,
Mhm, they
I
are.
have a dedicated water fan that would hold my water because we were on deck stage and it was really crazy, right? And I was losing my water, and I was like, "Would you please do me the honor?" And he held my water bottle the entire time and stood right there. and then he took a picture with me when we did the meet and greet thing, and he was like, "I'm the water boy." So like we already have a set. He was messaging us on IG already. He's like, "I'll be there this year. I got your water, bro." I'm like,
I
"You're
love it.
amazing."
That's amazing.
So I don't have fans that are holding fans yet, but I have fans that hold water bottles.
Right. Okay.
You should remake the
First
Water
step.
Boy
Movie.
movie cover and put him in place of Adam Sandler. Or
Only
at
if
least you can do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to have a friend that can do it. He's got to have a friend that he can do it.
Oh, gosh.
So speaking of Shiprocked, you've checked out the lineup. Two things about Shiprocked this year. One is I'm gonna have to talk to your people about seeing if you guys want to play a song or two with the Stowaways. That would be a fun thing. That's business
yeah.
one. That's business 101. People don't talk about business directly with the artist. But I just broke some rules. But I don't care because these people are my friends too. Dang it. And then secondly, who else on the lineup are you looking forward to seeing? What excited you when you saw the lineup to go, oh my gosh, we're on the same bill as?
For me, it's easy. I'm Code Orange, man. That band's on fire, and I don't know. I just think they're their sound's kind of harsh, but they're just how they look. It reminds me of like Terminator and shit. Like I don't know, their art direction and their sound and how it all adds up together. It's like the complete package. So I've seen them before, but I'm stoked to definitely share the stage with them.
Yeah, that's a solid
So
choice.
I got to meet Adam D years ago, and I highly doubt he's going to remember me, but he's tall like me, so maybe. But yeah, Killswitch Engage is like for me like the OG metalcore kings, and absolutely excited to see them. I've never seen them live with Jesse, so I'm interested to see how.
Shit.
Yeah, I've only seen him with Howard, so.
Oh
I don't
wow.
think I have either. Holy shit. Yeah. That's gonna be
I've
tight.
seen it once with Jesse. It was pretty dope. Like but you're right with the OG hardcore, like all of us that like grew up in that metal era. That's what we fell in love with.
When I heard My Curse, I was like, oh my God, this is how good this gets.
Right.
Well,
His
that was like around the
Adam's
same time
productions.
like that and like Fall of Ideals, All That Remains and all that stuff. Like all those bands were on fire at the time.
Darkest
And
Hour and all.
yeah, and it was like it was a really good time to be a heavy music fan.
So you also just announced Dorothy, and
Mhm.
I've been personally just trying to corner her and give her a big hug and tell her that I love her smoky, sultry voice. So I think this would be a great time for that. Just saying. And I mean, she's an amazing performer. We saw them at Riff Fest. So
Chad,
Those are all solid.
Take a note. More notes.
Solid choices.
more notes.
More notes. More notes.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Business notes.
Yeah, business notes. Hey, we're trying to make connections here, people. That's what we do here with Making Waves, the Shiprock podcast. We're making connections.
Where's your assistant? Is she still making that?
She's making that taco salad. Thanks for bringing it up.
So tossed.
Sheila!
I got a question. Well, not a question. I want to say congratulations, I should say, before we move into this next and I think final segment. Dude, Pandora Radio gave you that nod in the 2023. That's fucking dope. Congrats.
Super dope. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Artist to watch, dude. That means a lot.
Cool.
Like,
That's super
great.
cool.
Yeah.
And
so we were pretty stoked.
you guys crushed it on with Blow on charts. Fucking massive. What'd you get? Which number? What did
Top
it?
10 for like a hot second, but it was
Insane.
top 10 at Active
Okay,
Records. So
that counts.
That's
it
it's
counts.
awesome.
We saw
Yeah,
it.
that counts. counts. Yeah, screenshotted it. Hello.
Yeah. Well,
Of
so
course.
the craziest thing was how long it stayed, and like people were adding it to like
That's-
regular rotation, and like it had legs, you know. So I was really excited about that. And to have some really cool, awesome people that we met as a result of like its success. Like IS9 is like radio darlings at Octane, and so when we did Aftershock last year, you know, Jose Manga was gonna do just like we were opening the stage, so we didn't expect like a hard intro from the man himself, right? But Jose comes over here and he was like, hey man, this is really awesome, you know, like you should know that, you know, we all do favors for friends and whatever that put out cool music, but sometimes it just doesn't stay around, and other times fans want it. And he was like, fans want this one. And he was walking over to the stage. I was like, yeah, awesome, you know. And he was like, so you guys are opening my stage, right? I'm about to go up there and do the hard intro. I was like, all right. So you're just gonna announce Eva Under Fire? Cool. So yeah, we were really happy with what it did and what it still continues to do. I mean, I when we were just over in Europe, it was the closer, of course. And so we go, this one's called Blow, and everybody bounced. Everybody lost their minds and everybody was up off their feet. It was so fun.
That's dope.
You got to give a nod to the people of Europe, though. Those people can clap on beat. You know, sometimes
1 in 3 people.
the twos, they nailed it every time, man. I couldn't believe it. I'm so used to closing out people, you know, clapping. Not over there, man. You can pretty much rely on them. It was good to hear.
They were not a beat off.
They were not a beat off. That's awesome. Sorry, that just got me good.
Which is unusual
Also,
for Chad because Chad's always a beat off.
yeah.
Family show.
Yeah, my
You-
family's
that's not what I
listening, they know it
meant.
too.
That's not what I
No,
meant.
no, they know it too.
They know.
The War Pigs cover.
Yeah.
That's sick. Didn't that just came out too, right? Right when you guys were in Europe?
April.
Yeah, when we were overseas. Yeah. So they released it in April, and it was just sort of, you know, because we were in between what to release. It's a really strange time to release a record too, because we turned it in before Pandemic World. And then
Yeah,
everything happened.
shit.
So like now that it's out and it's in a strange space with everyone else's weird release schedules, what songs do we go with? What songs do we not go with? Now that we uploaded the entire album, it's not quite new on DSPs and blah, 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 algorithm
Mhm.
business.
We
crap.
all know
Right?
fun.
Business.
It's just been a nightmare, but I was really happy that they were looking for the ways to support us while we were over there. So they took Unstoppable to radio while we were over there, and we
Oh.
did like a fun thing with War Pigs, because obviously Ozzy's now officially announced retirement and things like that, and we actually had been playing that song for a while, and we felt like it was an appropriate time for us, and I love singing the song because I just feel like it's just still super relevant even generations later, like what people deal with, right? And even if you look into like the whole Pandemic World thing, it was like such a strange division of humans that went on. So and it was a weird song for me to try to sing, but we do this a lot where with covers we go big or go home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'd like make it a game of like doing songs that we're not supposed to touch.
Nerdy question. Was it in the same key?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's tough to sing. I mean, your range is like super evident there because Ozzy's got a great range, but for you to be able to pull off kind of the lower probably in your register, it sounds great. And the drums have a really unique sound too, like kind of the big roomy,
So
big reverbery.
just to nerd out a little bit more, we knew that we had to record that one a little differently because of the nature of the song and the beast and when it first came out. So the drums were recorded live, the guitars were recorded live. We did it at a studio.
In a studio live room.
Yeah, in like a live room. And we knew that like if we tried to like really digitize any of this stuff, it's just going to be so obvious. So we just wanted to really bring out the more organic side for that track specifically. So yeah, it was
little homage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out great. It came out great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
What
welcome.
was Steve's homage? Did you see that Geezer shared it? Geezer Butler
Geezer
shared
Butler.
it.
Oh, you know what? I didn't see that he did, but I think I saw
on Twitter.
yeah, I know, Robert, I think I saw you shout him out, say, "Oh my God, I can't believe this!" Right? Is that? I think I saw. Yeah, for sure, I did. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, somebody sent it to me, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I was like,
yeah.
No,
we didn't.
Photoshop skills. Get out of here.
You're that no way guy from Canada. What? No way.
No way. That's so cool. I mean, dude, that's fucking like die happy shit, you know.
Yeah.
They fucking heard your homage, you know, that your fucking cover, but essentially like there's no greater feeling I can imagine. Can't imagine.
Insecure enough to even reply on it, right? To hear it isn't one thing. To reply on it.
Yeah, he meant it. He meant it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done that if he didn't mean it. He'd have been another cover they were done every day. He would have been like,
Sure.
You know, but somebody else turned him on to it too. That's the other cool thing. Like, I wonder how. Does he have a Google alert set up for that song?
I wonder. I wonder if
smash balls if it sucks or something.
Check this out. I wonder if the cover like world sort of backfired and worked out in our favor this time because the week before we released it, we had a release date like scheduled, right? So we recorded it and we had a release date scheduled. And the week before it dropped, T-Pain had done that song on like the cover, whatever, the Masked Singer, I think he did, right? So, and he released like the live thing. So I wonder if like that was enough limelight for Black Sabbath to be like, I don't know. And then we came out with ours and they were like, this is better.
Yeah.
Well, they probably, I mean, look, the algorithm helped you there. War Pigs cover, enter. It's like, there's yours, right? So timing is good too. We're approaching the end of our hour here. We want to let you all get back to your garage, please. But listen, we do something on Making Waves, the Shiprock podcast, that we like to call Walk the Plank. You'll figure this out as we go.
Yep.
I'm already nervous.
First question. If you had the ability to give one virtue to all of humanity, what would it be?
One virtue.
It can be a compiled answer or an individual answer. I think it's important.
Group answer. Group answer.
Oh, group answer.
Yeah, let's go group answer. We'll mix it up.
So what is the root of most of the world's problems? Should it be honesty?
I don't know, man. Listen, this
I kind of went there with honesty.
Listen,
right?
we ask the questions here, Robert.
So whatever the opposite of greed is.
It's got to be honesty.
Honesty,
So like liar, like you can't lie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you went with honesty. Walk down that road for a second. Y'all are crazy. Okay, next, Chadwick, what's your walk the plank? Chad, make him walk the plank, baby.
What is the best commercial that you have ever seen?
Oh
man, jeez.
Hold on, I got this one. So it's a German commercial for Sprite.
Oh,
So basically, they're a lot more okay with this type of thing over there.
Goo.
And I can send you guys the link to make sure that I'm not making this up. So basically, you're looking at this girl on her knees in front of this dude, and she's doing something to him.
Suggestive.
We don't know what it is. It's something.
Reading him the Bible.
Something.
Got
It's something. And she's on her knees praying. And
That's not even appropriate.
so the camera eventually pans to where you see her face, and she's got a Sprite bottle that she's drinking out of while still on her knees in front of this guy. The guy's holding the Sprite bottle where his midsection.
His midsection.
And then
Where's your penis, Robert?
and then it's like the Sprite bottle gets shaken up and then explodes right in her face.
So yeah,
Holy
that's Germany
shit.
for you, right?
So the suds get all over her face and stuff, and then
Soda over in Germany.
she
I
just
don't know. Yeah.
she loved it.
Yeah, their commercials are serious over there, right?
Dude,
They are.
That's
Yeah, you can only watch them on YouTube, right? Like I've seen a couple of those where it's like this commercial was banned and whatever, and you watch it, and you're like, yeah, that was probably banned in the US. Yeah, I believe that.
Have you seen a few of the Rammstein videos? Those are pretty raunchy too.
Yeah.
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 They made
Watch-
butt plugs.
Watch
right?
the video for a song called PU *** Y.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh yeah, watch that one.
Okay.
That's a good commercial.
That's a good.
Like
More.
I mean, like you gave it memory. I should have said that's a good commercial. You went from step to step. Like I fucking can't believe that. I went through it mentally. I pictured it all, and I was like, okay. I can't believe they put that on television, but
Yeah.
it is Germany, so it's a little
Yep.
bit different here. Do you guys know who Ernest is? Ernest P. Worrell. He
Oh, I
was
love-
around doing all those movies back in the day, like Ernest.
Oh,
Here to
Ernest
Stupid.
goes to Africa. Ernest
Yeah.
does-
Yes.
Yeah. Are you gonna
I'll
ruin my
send-
image of him right now, Chad?
No. It has nothing to do with getting blasted by Sprite. Instead, Ernest. This is what it reminded me of. I don't know why. Ernest, he got to start making fake commercials, cutting them on a big gigantic. Vern was his camera guy back then, and he made commercials for real companies who never asked him to make commercials at all.
I want to do that. I want to do that
And
right
then
now.
compiled these videos and just kept sending tapes out until somebody like noticed his genius. I'll send you guys a link to it. There's a compilation of like 30 minutes of them, and they're fucking genius.
No, he was actually
good.
trained to be like a thespian too. He was like a properly trained actor too. That he never ever really got to show. Obviously, doing the Ernest films, it doesn't show off his sharpened skills. But yeah, he was trained to be bigger.
But
than that.
but here's the thing though. Ernest, that's not how that guy is in real life. So to me, he is a brilliant actor.
Yeah, he's
Right? So there you go. Yeah. He used his training in a different way, right? To
It's
look
bad.
like to make it look like he had no training. And by the way, isn't that what art is? You make it look so easy and so natural that you don't even know that it's fake.
Sure.
Yeah.
Look at that. Ernest.
We have one more question. This one
Yeah.
comes from a guest.
I want to ask one. I'm gonna
Okay.
put a bonus. What is the last thing that each one of you cried about?
Ooh.
Oh man.
It's gonna be real sad if I answer, so I'll let one of them answer.
Typically,
I think that's why we wanted you to answer.
Okay.
We get emotional here on the show.
I'm dramatic and I need a lot of attention. I don't know if you can tell, like I have like rainbow hair and I'm the lead singer of a rock band. So like I'm kind of
No, I didn't get that.
yeah, I'm a peacock. So I didn't get enough hugs and I was having an emotional week about 15 million other things. But of course I kind of broke down because nobody loves me. Right. But that's not true. That these guys are here. So I was just being dramatic.
It was temporary. You
Right.
thought that.
But I hugged my cat instead and he
That
was fine.
happens.
Right.
That
My
happens.
cat's genetic. I guess he gets it from his
Yeah, I
mother.
mean,
Yeah.
Anything my answer is going to be sad. Too, so yeah, I guess my grandmother passing or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
for me, it's my dad, or anytime I watch Land Before
Oh,
Time.
Oh,
he's
I-
definitely
no.
I can't get through Land Before
Yeah.
Time
Same
without
way.
crying.
Yeah.
I just seen.
Hey,
It is not
If you
very-
want if you want a dad movie to cry about, The
Yeah.
Road.
Oh, man.
don't.
I haven't seen it, but I probably should.
The
Don't watch
Road.
Harley and Me either. Don't watch that one.
Oh,
That
is
they
sad.
should not be allowed to make movies like that.
Yeah, seriously, that was like shame on you.
Shame on you. My emotions are not to be toyed with.
Yeah, those are I guess let me ask you this last question. I'm so sorry to hear about the
Grandmas.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah, I appreciate it though. Thanks.
Oh, so you haven't cried in years? Then you're just like rock
Literally,
hard
yeah,
over there.
yeah.
Except for
You guys
Marley
take
and
me
me.
back. I'm like, yeah, last week I had a problem.
Yeah.
All right. So the question. So you guys are going to get to do the same thing. The question is asked by our guest to the next week's guest. They don't know who the guest is going to be, and when I ask you the question, you won't know who it is until you give an answer. So his is a 2-part. You can do it as a group, I guess, or individually. You talk amongst yourself, however you like to give it. The questions are: 1, uppers or downers; 2, drop C or standard.
Wow.
Wow.
Caffeine's an upper.
It
Yep.
is.
I'll roll with that.
Yeah, uppers for me.
These guys are drinkers, though.
And
I don't know.
I want to say
Uppers, uppers and downers. Okay.
I feel like both is an appropriate answer.
Yeah.
Not at the same time though, because that's
yeah.
medical.
Oh yeah, that's that
normal.
yeah, that's called the Jaeger bomb. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm old, man. We drink Jaeger bombs. That's what you do.
Right.
Yeah, so say the downer on that, you guys say the upper on that, and then what was the other part?
Standard tuning for me.
Oh, standard, yeah. Yeah, I think you could just make more of the instrument. You can do more with it.
I agree. So Aaron Jones, he was the asker of those questions.
We talked to
We'll let
him.
him-
I think he
they're all
prefers
very
uppers.
nice
Oh.
people.
Yeah,
Very nice.
he's also on uppers. And by that,
Very
and by
much.
that, and by that, I mean he has a very positive attitude.
Yes, he does.
Totally. It's a very
Yes.
sunshiny
He's
guy.
he's a sweetheart of a human being. We love
Yes,
that guy.
he's a really nice guy.
He really is. So now you guys get to do the same, the dirty deed for next week's guest.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Who I can't tell you who it is. He didn't
No,
know. so
we
you
can't.
guys-
So we can't tell them who it is. But but the next guest will know that the question came from you. So how would you like to make our next guest walk the
I
plank?
mean, you can always come up with random ones, but if you got something,
Cats or dogs?
if you want to keep it that cut and dry,
Cats or dogs?
Oh, I love it.
Cat
Yeah.
person or dog
okay,
person?
cats, dogs, but why?
But
Oh.
why?
Yeah, there's
Cats and
usually
dogs.
an explanation. Sure. Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
go ... 3 of them. But
That is-
why?
And but why? But why? But why makes it sound like you don't want either. And-
Oh no! Oh, like why?
Neither.
I thought it was but why? Like just that? Like you're
Yeah.
just a straight up exclamation. But why? Sorry.
I love it.
I had
Yeah.
a horrible question, but I'd have
What
to
is
know.
it?
Okay, great. We need it then. We'll have a 2-parter just like
I
we
would
had
Well,
tonight.
PG-13. This
I'd-
guy's gonna be like,
I'd-
watch this.
I'd have to know beforehand if you're not going to ask it to those poor girls in the warning because they're too young for this.
Maybe we will.
When's the last time you've been pleasured?
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Ask
In
someone
any
that.
way, is
Wow.
this like open? Is this an open-ended pleasure? Like it could be like I drank a Coke
Pleasure.
earlier
Yeah,
today.
and I got my aspartame kick.
I think you can ask the question like that and let them interpret it how they want to.
This one's got to
Even
make.
better.
We having
He's
a
making-
Correct.
about our
Making
marriage
waves. Here he is.
now?
Wham! Those are my typing
Done.
fingers. I apologize. I got it. I got it down though. Thank you guys.
Eva, Robert, Dave, thank you so much for spending a little time with us this week. We appreciate you very much.
You guys rule.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
guys.
you. And we look forward to seeing y'all on the ship. If not beforehand, by some miracle, that would be amazing. So, and let us know if Shiprock can help you guys out with anything as you move forward. We're happy to help. We love you guys, and our guests love you too. So, thank you.
Chad, if you want to come to Gin Blossoms, hit me up on or hit one of us
He's
up.
going.
and
He's
get you in the show.
going. He's going. He
I
was
will-
gonna leave this podcast like an hour ago to get there
Usually we'd be
early.
like, so do you think you know? Yeah, I'm totally gonna go.
The Eva Under Fire show and also Gin Blossoms.
It's
awesome.
a done. It's a done deal for me. I'm gonna go see you guys and Gin Blossoms and probably get an elf in here. You said, is there elf in ears gonna be there?
There's gonna be one nearby for sure.
Carnival,
no
bro.
doubt.
One nearby for sure. Amazing. Dave knows he's got the map. He's got the map
I
down.
got the logistics laid out for it. Yeah.
Thanks again, guys. And
I love
yeah, by the time we see you shiprockers, we're gonna need this vacation. So
Yeah.
let's do this.
I love it. All right, everybody, be safe.
out there.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
Thanks a lot.
Bye, guys.